Hello, my friends. Today we're learning Bobe Basra, Daf Kuf Ayin Aleph. We're going to start Kuf Ayin Amud Beis, just after the Mishnah. Amar le Rav Nachman le Rav Huna v'amre le Rav Irmia bar Abba le Rav Huna ishmiya le Rav Ha-Braita דתניא עדים מקרים את השטר וכותבים לו שובר אחר מזמן ראשון ועד הרבה אמר לי השמיע לי ולא עד הרבה בשלמה בדינה קע"א עמוד א' עלים להפקו עם עמונה, ילידים שעשו שליחותם חוזרים ועושם שליחותם ולא, ואמר רבי יהודה אמר רב עדים כותבים אפילו 10 שטרות על שדה אחת. רבי יוסף אמר בשטר מתנה ורבא אמר בשטר שאין בו אחריות. So we learned that the Mishnah before, that someone who paid off part of his choiv, and what do we do? So we had the machlokes. Yosi holds Rabbi Yehuda holds you should tear up the old shtar and write a new shtar from the first date of the smaller amount. And Rabbi Yosi says he gives a receipt. And Rav said, Rav Hun, in the name of Rav, said that we don't pass not like Rabbi Yehuda, not like Rabbi Yosi. Then what we do is Bezdin could write, we tear up the shtar and write a new shtar on the small amount from the original amount, on the small amount, but only Bezdin could do that, not the Eidim themselves. So Rav Nachman told Rav Huna, and some people say Rav Irmia bar Abba told Rav Huna, did Rav hear the brisa that it says clearly that the Eidim tear up the shtar and write the shtar from the first date? Would Rav be choizer from what he said or not? So he answered to him that Rav knew about it, but he never changed his mind. He was choilek on Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yosi. And he explains, Bezdin have the koyach to write a shtar today from an earlier date. But Eidim, who did the shlichus, can they do the shlichus again? And Tosfos explains it doesn't literally mean that. It means basically Bezdin doesn't have a koyach, Eidim don't have a koyach to write a shtar today from an earlier date. Only Bezdin have a koyach to do such a thing. On that, the Gemara says, is that true? Could they not do that? We know that Rav Yehuda said in the name of Rav, Eidim could write even 10 shtaros in one field. So you could see, even though if he lost his shtar, he could write another shtar, even though the Eidim themselves could do it. So why does Rav over here say that they can't do it? Says the Gemara, two Turutzim. Rabbi Yosef says that the Rab said that you could write 10 shtaros, his shtar matana, that there's no achraya, so there's nothing to lose. He lost the shtar, you write another shtar that belongs to him, but you're not going to be goyva from anyone. And Rabbi explained that it's talking about a shtar that has no achrayas. Even a shtar mechira, but there's no achrayas, and the whole chashash is when there's achrayas, you're going to goyva twice, as we explained earlier. But if there's no achrayas, there's nothing wrong in writing twice the shtaros. Said the Gemara, my braita, דתניא הרי שהיו נושים בו 1,000 זוז ופרה מהן 500 זוז ועדים יקרים את השטר וכותבים לו שטר אחר מזמן ראשון. דברי רבי יהודה. רבי יוסי אומר שטר זה ימונח במקומו ויכתב שובר. לפני שני דברים אמרו כותבים שובר, אחד כדי שחוף לפרעה ואחד כשיגבה מזמן ראשון. רבי יהודה נמי מזמן ראשון כאמר, אחי כאמר לרבי יוסי לרבי יהודה, אם מזמן ראשון כאמר פגלינה עלייך בחדה, אם מזמן שני כאמר פליגנה עלייך בתרתי. So the Gemara wants to know what's the brisa that we see that Rabbi Yehuda clearly says that the Eidim have the power to write a shtar today on an earlier date. So the Gemara says, it says in the brisa, someone was chayev 1,000 zuz and he paid off 500 zuz. So the Eidim tear up the shtar and they write a new shtar of 500 zuz from the original date. So the date of the original loan stays in the shtar, we just change the sum from 1,000 to 500. That Shittas Rav Yehuda. And Rabbi Yosi says, no, the shtar stays by the malva, and he gives the loiva a receipt that he paid off 500. And he says, Rabbi Yosi, there's two reasons why we do this, that we write a receipt. One, that the loiva should be pressurized to pay off the extra 500 because he knows if he loses the shoiva, he'll have to pay 1,000. And second, if you tear up the shtar and write a new shtar, you'll only be able to go over from today, and we want him to able to be go over from lekuchos already from the original date. On that, the Gemara asks, what do you mean? But even Rabbi Yehuda, you're not gaining 2 points, you're only gaining 1 point. Rabbi Yehuda admits that when you write the new shtar, you write it from the original date. So what are you gaining in leaving the original shtar? It's always the same date. Said the Gemara, this is what Rabbi Yosi told Rabbi Yehuda. If you're going to tell me that the new star that you're writing is from the original date. Okay, I only argue about one because I want the lachat, the pressure on the loiva to pay off. And if you're going to say that you write the new star only from today onwards, so I argue about 2 points. First, we want to pressure the loiva to pay, and second of all, also we want that the malva will have a schus to be going from the kuchas from the first date and not from the second date when he paid off half the choiv. Tanu Rabbanan, שטר שזמנו כתוב בשבת או בעשרה בתשרי, שטר מאוחר ובכשר, דברי רבי יהודה. רבי יוסי פוסל, אמר לו רבי יהודה, ועלה מה הסיבה לפניך בציפורי והכשרת? אמר לו, כשהכשרתי בזה, הכשרתי. רבי יהודה נמי בזה כאמר, אמר פתת, הכל מודים שהוזקקו לנותו של שטר ונמצוא תעונתו מכוונת בשבת או בעשרה בתשרי, ששטר מאוחר ובכשר. לא, קע"א עמוד ב', לא נחלקו אלא בשטר מאוחר בעלמא. רבי יהודה לטעמי דאמר אין כותבים שובר ולא נפיק מיני חורבה, ורבי יוסי לטעמי דאמר כותבים שובר ונפיק מיני חורבה. So the Gemara says that we learned in the Brisa a star that it says a date in it, and then when we calculate the date, we realize I count out the date of the star as Shabbos or Asar B'Tishrei and Yom Kippur, and we know people won't write a star on Shabbos on Yom Kippur. So we assume that it's a late shtar. That means it's called a shtar merucha, and the loan happened after Yom Kippur, after Shabbos. And it's a kosher shtar. That shittas Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi said it's possible because it's a shtar merucha. So Rabbi Yehuda told Rabbi Yossi, but there was a story in a place called Tzipori where a shtar merucha came in front of you, and he said it's kosher. So how are you saying over here it's possible? So Rabbi Yossi answered to him, when I said it's kosher, I was talking about in a case like our case that it's obvious that it's a shtar merucha because the date is Shabbos or Yom Kippur. So the Gemara, what do you mean? But that was the machlokes. That what we were talking about, the shtar that was written the date Yom Kippur or Shabbos. And there we had the machlokes. So how is Rabbi Yossi coming and saying, oh, over there I admit? So comes Rabbi Pedosa and explains. Really, everyone admits in such a case like we spoke about before, that if we look into the date of the shtar and it comes that the date of the shtar is Shabbos or Yom Kippur, that for sure it's a shtar merucha, and it's clearly from in the shtar that the shtar merucha, because the person doesn't write a shtar on Shabbos or Yom Kippur, and everyone agrees, even Rabbi Yossi, that it's kosher. So what's the machlokes? The machlokes is in a shtar merucha that it's not clear from the shtar itself that it's written the date, a later date than when the loan happens. And what's the machlokes exactly? What are they choilek about? Rabbi Yehuda holds, like we said earlier on, that you don't write a receipt, and therefore there's nothing wrong with a late shtar. What could go wrong if you write a late shtar? Because it's